The notice requirements provided for in the Open Public Meeting Act have been satisfied. Notice of this meeting was properly given by transmission to the Asbury Park Press, Star Ledger, the Independent, and Two River Times, and by posting in the Middletown Township Municipal Building and filing with the Township Clerk all on January 11th, 2013. Committeeman Fiore.
Here.
Committeeman Massell. Deputy Mayor Murray.
Here.
Committeeman Zandino.
Here.
Mayor Sherwood.
Here.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May we have a moment of silence to honor the troops serving worldwide, defending our freedom, Constitution, and way of life. Thank you. First item on our agenda is a certificate of proclamation that's going to be presented by Amy Handlin, Assemblywoman Amy Handlin, and she's come forward and present the resolution to get the Mercantante.
Well, this is probably the one and only task associated with Hurricane Sandy that genuinely is a pleasure, because Tony, Mr. Mercantante, is genuinely one of the unsung heroes at a terrible time. And as I'm sure you'll hear in just a moment, from a Middletown perspective, I'm here to tell you from the state perspective, I worked with towns and agencies, and there weren't all that many people who I and others could count on to always be there, always doing what needed to be done, always working quietly behind the scenes for everyone, doing everything somehow, and never making a misstep. That was the most astonishing thing. While he put his own family aside, his own personal life, to labor for nights and weekends, and again, just doing anything and everything that was asked of him. The public only saw the outcome. They didn't see all the Herculean effort that went into it. And so it's little enough that we should do to say thank you.
No.
Tony joined us in Trenton a few weeks ago to be honored, and I was very pleased with the Township Committee invited me to come and honor him again here right at home. Here's where it really means the most. So I think what I'll do is maybe I'll ask the mayor to say a few words and read the
Yeah, and I would just like to echo what Amy just said. And one of the things to keep in mind is that overseeing the operations of a town, especially the size of Middletown, in this day and age, with all the complexities of all the state regulations and all of the complexities of union contracts and negotiations, all those sort of things, you really need somebody who's got a lot of knowledge about a lot of issues. And we are very, very fortunate to have that for Tony. And we saw that in action, probably more so than ever, when Sandy hit. And everybody up in the dais here was at the command center here, day in and day out, and so was Tony, even though his house was destroyed, completely destroyed. And he's very low-key about it. He doesn't walk around saying, oh, gee, woe is me, I don't have a house. He was really just concerned with the job in hand, making sure that the town was kept together and really stayed focused on what had to be done at the moment and even beyond that. So as a taxpayer and a resident here, I am so fortunate and really appreciate everything he does for us day in and day out. We really saw it then. And I think everybody in this town owes Tony Mercantante a tremendous debt of gratitude. I try and make it known, and I know we all do every chance we get. And it's a great, great tribute to him, and well deserved.
Well, it's a small token for our appreciation. By the way, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm a Middletown resident as well. So I also benefited directly.
She has a dog in his face.
Okay. This is a joint legislative resolution by Senator Corollas and myself and Assemblywoman Sandy. Whereas the Senate and General Assembly of the State of New Jersey are pleased to salute Anthony highly esteemed administrator of the Township of Middletown, in grateful acknowledgement of his tireless and heartfelt efforts in the aftermath of Superstorm Sandy. And whereas Anthony P. Mercantante demonstrated praiseworthy public spiritedness and steadfast determination following this natural disaster that devastated several areas of Monmouth County in the state of New Jersey. And whereas the strength and success of the state, the vitality of our communities, and the effectiveness of our American society depend in great measure upon citizens exemplified by Anthony P. Mercantante, who unite voluntarily, act together, and provide their unique talents to further a cause, to perform a necessary service, to support one another in their communities, and to relieve others from unavoidable hardship. And whereas it is altogether proper and fitting for the legislature to pause in their deliberations, to praise and for his uncommon dedication in helping others. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Senate and General Assembly of the State of New Jersey that the legislature hereby joins in honoring and saluting Anthony P. Mercantante, pays tribute to his meritorious endeavors on behalf of those affected by this horrific natural disaster, and extends sincere best wishes, very sincere best wishes, for his continued success. Tommy, do you want us to, you know it?
In case you vote, still has some room on your end. We have a proclamation from the town. And I probably should read it because it's probably just different enough for this time. It's well deserved. So short meeting. Yeah, this is really the short meeting. The short meeting by about half an hour. Whereas Anthony P. Mercantante, a long-time resident with deep roots in the community, took the helm as Township Administrator of Middletown Township in 2008 after serving as a municipality's planner. And whereas during his tenure at Middletown Township, Mr. Mercantante has proven himself time and time again as a consummate professional dedicated to improving municipal operations in creative ways that increase efficiency, enhance residential services, and save precious tax dollars. And whereas the most daunting task of his impressive career as a public servant came on October 29, 2012, when Superstorm Sandy wreaked havoc on Middletown, especially in the Bay Shore, where historic flooding affected more than 1,200 homes. And whereas sleeping in his office, sleeping in your office, huh? Okay. Sleeping in his office, he spent 12 days in the Emergency Operations Center at Town Hall, skillfully tackling an endless stream of problems that arose as a result of the historic storm. Despite the personal losses he suffered at the hands of Sandy, Mr. Mercantante worked tirelessly to lead Middletown through some of its darkest hours. And whereas on behalf of the people of Middletown, the Mayor and Township Committee wish to express their deepest appreciation and heartfelt gratitude to Township Administrator Tony Mercantante for skillfully juggling the Township's everyday operations amidst the challenges that our recovery from Superstorm Sandy has brought. And therefore, I, Mayor Jerry Schaffenberger, and the Middletown Township Committee do hereby proclaim Monday, July 15th, 2013, as Township Administrator Tony Mercantante Day, in tribute to this great man. It is truly an honor and a privilege that you choose to call Middletown your home. Thanks, boy. Thanks, very much.
No, I feel like we should vote for both. Get big. That's it. Just juggling. All the juggling I know we can go. All right, excellent. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
You want to say a few words? Or?
No, I appreciate this. I appreciate Amy coming here with her busy schedule, but I had a lot of help. A lot of great people who work here. Spent a lot of time working on this too. So I thank all of them. Thank you.
Thanks.
Next on the agenda will be a presentation of grant award to Poricy Park, New Jersey American Water Company. I'd like to invite Gary Matthews and Peter Eschbach from New Jersey American Water Company and Poricy Park Director Joyce John. And on behalf of the Township, Ted Maloney, Vic Grims, and Jason Greenspan, on board with the presentation.
Okay, I'm going to let Vic, if you don't mind, just explain, say a few words and turn it over to his desk, okay? Tell everybody what the project is all about.
Okay, we applied for a grant, environmental grant, through the New Jersey American Water Company, and they awarded us a check. I'll let them say the amounts. But for the construction of a rain garden at the Poricy Park Conservancy. The rain garden is actually a collaboration between the Middletown Public Works Department, Planning Department, Green Team Action Committee, and the Poricy Park Conservancy. The rain garden will be a landscape depression planted with native wet-tolerant plantings to serve as a stormwater management system at the park by collecting rainwater from specific rooftops and adjacent lawn areas to trap, remove, and filter non-point source pollution while allowing the runoff to infiltrate back into the ground and help recharge the groundwater aquifers. The rain garden will be an innovative demonstration project and serve as part of the educational programs at the Nature Center to foster understanding of ecology, native plants, and the importance of our water resources.
You know, it's an interesting thing about this whole project, the whole concept of rain gardens. And it sort of proves that old adage that all things all will be new again. This is really just the way things have always been, you know, where these sort of areas were the natural drainage areas and serve to, as Vic pointed out, as drainage areas, but also to recharge the water supply. So this is really going back to the way it was done and done efficiently, and without these big complex systems that cost a lot of money. And you see more and more projects incorporating this, and it's a good thing to see. I'm really proud of this. I can't say enough good about our partners here in helping us do this. Thank you very much. And Matt, you want to say?
Absolutely. As I was telling Victor before, the grant program at New Jersey American Water is designed to offer the funding, the seed money, so to speak, to let projects like this take place in communities. This year we received requests totaling close to $300,000, $400,000, possibly 80 or 90 applications. It goes to a judging panel, and when this project came out, I told Victor it popped. This one just stood out, and it hit all the marks. You hit all the targets, you hit everything. It's going to be accessible to the public. It's low key, it's not high tech. It's you're working with nature, you're putting in native plants and flowers. The public, the kids can come and see it. And hopefully homeowners can see this is something they can do on their own. So your grant award in total is $10,000. I'm very happy to give you tonight a check for $30,000 to get started on it. When the project is completed later this year, let me know, give me a final write-up. I'll come down, take a picture, and we'll give you another check for $1,000 to sign up.
Thank you very much.
There we go. That's the one I'm looking for. One more set of happy colors, got rain gardens. And I am going to try to catch the check twice. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Next on the agenda, we have approval of minutes for April 15th, 2013 regular meeting, May 6th executive session, May 6th workshop meeting, May 20th executive session. May I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second. Committeeman Fury?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Mary?
Yes.
Committeeman Sedamino?
Yes.
Mayor Schaffner?
Yes.
Next on the agenda is Resolution 13-188, resolution authorizing payment of bills for July 15th, 2013. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Committeeman Fury?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Mary?
Yes.
Committeeman Sedamino?
Yes.
Mayor Schaffner?
Yes.
Resolution 13-189 will be carried to the workshop meeting to be held on August 5th, 2013. Next on the agenda, we have a consent agenda. May I have a motion to adopt Resolution 13-190 through 13-203, including bingo and raffle applications?
Move for adoption?
Second.
Committeeman Fiore?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Mary? Yes. Committeeman Sedamino?
Yes.
Mayor Schaffner?
Yes.
Next, we have the Township Committee acting as the ABC issuing authority. May I have a motion to adopt Resolution 13-204, authorizing the renewal of liquor license number 1331-04-007-001 for Christmas Deli.
So moved.
Second.
Committeeman Fury?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Mary?
Yes.
Committeeman Sedamino?
Yes.
Mayor Schaffner?
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt Resolution 13-203. Any comments?
Okay, Mr. Sedamino.
Nothing this evening, Mayor, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Fiore.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few quick things. I also, once again, echo many of your words with respect to Mr. Mercantante and his selfless performance and job that he did during Superstorm Sandy. Also his staff, Jim Van Nest. These guys were here 24/7 throughout the whole experience, and just a true testament to their real love and dedication to this township, which in my opinion, being someone who saw it firsthand in that room with them together for too many hours on end, I can tell you that these gentlemen not only saved lives and property, but have truly put Middletown in a much better position on the rebuild and throughout this whole ordeal. So I appreciate the Assembly, the Senate recognizing Mr. Mercantante, and also he recognizing his staff. There's a number of people that were here around the clock, and but it's just a great thing to see that. So as I said before, and I'll say again, this township is pretty darn lucky to have leadership like that here. The other thing I just wanted to mention is one of the resolutions we voted on tonight was an authorization for that said room that we spend so much time in during these types of events. And for those of you who may or may not know, that was that emergency command center was something that we developed after a blistering blizzard in 2010 upon kind of the transition period at the end of December, and something that we had implemented upon the next storm, and really created a ton of efficiencies for us, up and through becoming a real model command center for other municipalities to emulate. So I'm excited about the enhancements that we'll make to that. I think it will go a long way in terms of life safety and the municipality's ability to respond to those types of very serious situations and weather conditions and emergency disasters. I would also like to see, and this is something I've said for a while, and I know we just passed our budget, but from a capital perspective, I think there are things, and it may sound like a little bit of a broken record, that we can utilize, that I know Mr. Maloney has seen some software packages in terms of GPS units, which are really not expensive when you really look at the grand scheme of things. I mean, every cell phone, actually we use cell phones now as GPS to go through our GIS system, and we have a few demonstrations. But I really would like to see, sooner than later, especially before the hurricane months come, and we're actually in hurricane season from what I understand now. There's been 2 or 3 named storms thus far, and also before the winter season. I really would like to see that that enhancement, which will not be a heavy lift. It's not a tremendously expensive cost. We've done the analysis, and really would like the administration to get that as soon as possible so that we can see where our trucks are, where they're going, and be able to navigate better in that command center, to not have to rely on people out on the street, but to actually see that we've been through an area in a blizzard and that the street is clear. It's just, there's no reason not to get that enhancement now that we have that moving in hand. So I urge the administration and the committee to consider that very soon and later. So that's all I have this evening. I'll put it there. So thank you, Mayor, and thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. Deputy Mayor Murray.
Other than echoing the sentiments of Committee Fury regarding Mr. Mercantante and Mr. Van Nest and the rest of our administration, and saying that we are indeed very lucky to have you guys, I have no other further comments tonight. Thank you.
Okay, just a few things. About a week and a half ago, I attended the Fairview Civic Association, what's become an annual event, their picnic, and it was a great event. It's always good to see these neighborhoods, the neighborhood groups get together and just kind of kick back and enjoy, in this case, Handlin Park. The weather was great. It was a little on the warm side, but that's the place to be on a day like that. So it was a great event, and they do a great job there, and just testament to the kind of civic pride we have in this town. Another thing I went to, and talk about pride, is something called the Work Campers event. And I don't know how many people heard about it, and that's very unfortunate. But it's a Christian group that brings in volunteers pretty much from all over the country. And these kids, they range, they're high school, college age, even post-college age. And they come in and they stay at one of the local high schools, and they volunteer their time and help folks with home repairs, home remodeling, things like that, people who qualify on a certain economic level. And it always knocks me out when I go to these things, because here you have 800 or 900 kids who look like regular teenagers, kind of scruffy looking, and just giving up the better part of their summer to do such a selfless thing like that. It really is something to see. And we see kids, when they act up or don't do the right thing, makes the front page of the news, and this unfortunately doesn't make the papers at all. So it was a great thing. It was very inspiring, and I just want to give a shout out to Gail and Bill Bechtel, their Middletown residents who put this together. And 35 Middletown homes were renovated by these kids, so they deserve a lot of credit, and I think they're going straight ahead, no question about it. One thing I didn't mention, I don't think anybody else did, the last meeting was the groundbreaking at Nutsong Field. And we had that several weeks ago, and they are making tremendous progress, I'm happy to report. And we're looking forward to it being done on time and done really well. It's going to be something to be very proud of. And we're very excited that they are making such progress. And just a quick announcement about, this is just announced that the Belford Seafood Co-op received a $350,000 low-interest loan from the EDA. That's a great thing for them. They're going to be able to make a lot of repairs due to Superstorm Sandy. A lot of upgrades to the facility. It's a great town institution up there, and I was really happy to hear about that. And it's the EDA, the Economic Development Authority of New Jersey, and also the Office for Business Advocacy. My colleagues at the state deserve a lot of credit for recognizing the worthiness of this. And just one more thing about the rain garden. We were chatting with some of the folks from the water company just now, and they wanted to really impress on how competitive this grant is, that they get reams and reams of paper applications for this sort of thing. So the fact that Middletown was picked is a real testament to Vic and certainly Ted and that whole staff there who put the application together, the grant application, and it's going to be going to very good use. So with that, that's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Okay, next on the agenda will be public comments.
Okay, and I'd just like to remind everybody to please keep your comments strictly to 5 minutes. Come up and give your name and address, and you keep the 5. I'll give you the high sign when it's time to stop. If you have more comments or you want to talk further, we'd be happy to stay afterwards and continue speaking with you. Okay, so, yes, sir.
Yes, good evening, Andrew Westfield, 327 Main Street, Fort Myers, New Jersey. What would it entail to get the signal changed on a light, traffic light at the intersection of Cherry Tree Farm Road and Harmony Road? I brought this up at previous county meetings. I understand that one is a county road,
Right.
one is a municipal road. But I just want to remind you, with the advent of Sonic up there now, you're creating a lot more cars in the summer and year-round. And I just wanted to know what would it entail to change that signal? What, is there a cost involved to share it with the county or something?
No, actually, the intersection is fully controlled by the county. We have asked the county, they're doing some traffic analysis right now to determine if they can modify the signal to include a left turn phase
All right.
without having to do any widening.
I understand, yeah. I mean, you don't have to widen lanes or anything like that. It's not rock, just change, make a left turn signal.
Well,
Something.
yes, and that's what we've asked the county to look at. They're doing that analysis now, so hopefully we'll hear soon whether that's feasible.
Now, there's one quick other thing on, I think it's Murphy Road, where you have 2 elementary schools. There did used to be a real danger here, especially during the school year, when you have parents show up, and I've seen this an hour before school lets out, and they use this as a chat session with the SUVs lining both sides of the road, choking off traffic. And my big concern is one day a kid's going to come out of school there, run between the cars, and guess what's going to happen? Because my own sister years ago had kids going to that school, and she said what they used to do is pull in the school, you want to pick the kid up on inclement days and pull right out, but they use it as a, as a social club before school lets out, and they've got signs all up and down the road, no parking, no standing, and they continue to do it, so thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else care to speak? Leo?
Good evening, Larry Sharp, 121 Cranberry Court, Middletown. Is a S1213 bill regarding property taxes. I'd just like to read the statement. Senator Greenwald, who attended a meeting with Declan O'Scanlan on this property tax matter at where you teach, Monmouth University. And this is his statement, and then I'll go into the specifics. Quote, "There's no more critical issue that faces the state than having a constitutional convention to overhaul the property tax structure in New Jersey," said Greenwald, in quote in the newspaper. He asked that, quote, we've got to tear down the property tax structure and rebuild a tax structure that fits New Jersey. There's a need for a constitutional convention, which will be a citizen's voice. He uses the phrase here, overhaul the property tax structure and tear down the tax structure and rebuild it. This idea is being floated around about 35% of property taxes being put over in income tax, and tweaking or whatever they're doing, trying to lessen the burden on the property taxpayers. My idea, I told the Eaton Town Council that my idea is that they need to quash the whole antiquated, worn-out, abstruse, regressive property tax system. They have to wipe it out entirely and replace it with some kind of a flat tax or income tax. Specifically, there's a program that was sent to Charlie Heck from the Monmouth County Board of Taxation by Matthew Clark, a state employee but who works at the county level. And he has on the document that I got on the last page, he has, when Middletown implements this program, the new program of tax assessing, he has Middletown having a net decrease of 700 I think it's a small print, $54,000. How will that show up in the budget that's affected by that decrease?
I'm not sure what you're reading.
Yeah. Leo, you know what, while he's reading that, I have a few suggestions. Maybe, I don't know if somebody in Greenwald has thought about this, but how about getting rid of COA? How about giving us some relief from civil service? And this is all stuff that's within the power of the legislature right now. Constitutional convention and all that stuff sounds great. It's pie in the sky stuff. It's long-term stuff. We could do some things immediately now. How about getting education off of property taxes? These are a lot of things that they don't want to hear about. How about stopping this added funding?
I could spend 5 hours in the conversation.
Okay, but
supporting materials and what's wrong with COA.
all this stuff sounds great, but there's stuff that can be done tomorrow if the political will were there.
But I just want to know how this net, this diminished cost through the tax assessing system, both to the firm we hire and the tax assessor's office, they're supposed to generate a net savings of 7.5.
What they're doing is they're estimating over 5 years, 5-year period of the program, the savings based upon the fact that if you do 20%, if you reassess 20% of your properties every year over 5 years, number one, you'll eliminate the need to have to do an expensive revaluation that Middletown went through, 3 years ago. It was in excess of $2 million. So you eliminate the need to do that at all. You also, theoretically, and I just say theoretically just because it hasn't actually been done yet, but the theory is that you'll get far fewer tax appeals and far fewer successful tax appeals if you're constantly reassessing 20% of your municipality every year. So that's an estimated savings over time by implementing the system. So how will that be reflected in the budget? Be reflected in, presumably, in the tax.
And also the third, if I may add, the third component to that bill, which the township actively lobbied for a couple of years ago and is being implemented for 2014, is that it also changes the tax appeal calendar, making it earlier in the year, so that one of the biggest problems is by the time we receive tax appeal judgments, at least at the county level, still not going to result in state appeals, but those judgments are received long after the budget is adopted. This way, we'll have a better picture at the time of budget adoption as to what the appeal judgments are, so that we're not counting that money being on it, which is a real hit, and then we can avoid this having a refund the 100% back to the schools and everyone else, minus the county's 5%, but effectively close to the entire tax bill prior to it being collected, so we're not in that situation of having to do this massive refunds and hopefully reduce the number of appeals, not only, as Tony mentioned, through the annual reassessment of 20% of the properties, but also reduce the impact of the actual appeals that still do take place.
The point of my question wasn't addressed, but I'll let it go because I can follow up after this meeting. Could I just ask one question regarding what's been in the newspapers regarding the Middletown Township Public Library? Namely, is there anything ethically wrong in the conduct of the closing of the three branch libraries and the give-backs that the library was caused by this governing body to give back? Was anything ethically, professionally wrong that anyone will have to go under an administrative review, administrative justice judgment, resulting in at least some kind of letter of reprimand, put some kind of personal file? Is any of that going on? Because we're apparently running this around out of the public, and I'm interested in what's going to go in a kind of an ethics board regarding anybody involved in the use of I guess the private use of personal computers. I think they overwork the word private, but is anything going on, an ethical review of this, especially the people who are receiving money, not the private citizens that are privileged to get information, I guess, through the First Amendment, and they do have some privacy rights there.
This board doesn't have
Sure.
jurisdiction. This
That's
board
a
doesn't have
library
jurisdiction over that.
What's that?
This board doesn't have jurisdiction over the library. You'd have to pose that question on to the trustees.
So what would I go to get an answer to that question?
For the Wednesday night library.
What's that?
Wednesday's library board meeting, you should pose that question to the trustees.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else care to speak? Yes, sir.
Good evening. My name is Don Watson from 1 Collinson Drive. Are we going to be doing 20% assessments going forward?
Yes, I mean, we're going to be participating in the countywide program in 2014.
For 2014? The GIS system was mentioned before. I was wondering if we could,
GPS.
also the GIS system that the township has on the website. It's very hard to navigate if you can get it up at all. Is there any way that we can get some kind of instruction on that page to tell people how to use it? I've had numerous discussions with Todd about it, and we thought it was a version of Java that I had installed on my computer, and since that time I've checked versions of Java. I got the latest versions of Java. I still can't bring up the GIS system to look at the maps that are available on the township website. And I know other people are having the same problems. There must be something that might be missing. I don't know if it's only accessible through the township network. I'm not.
There's supposed to be a public portal to the GIS system.
Right. It's also hard to find.
I agree that it doesn't work as well as it should.
Okay.
We're constantly
Is
talking.
it something Mazer is doing?
Well, they're the administrator, and it's
Right.
their job to fix it, and we're pushing them to fix it.
Okay, maybe I can give them a call.
Yeah.
Also, the gentleman before mentioned that intersection at Harmony Road. I think we should put some more heat on the county, considering that somebody just got hit there over the weekend, had to be meted back down to the hospital for a serious condition. So maybe we can use that as an example and get them to I think a little bit.
Hey, thank you very much. Anybody else care to speak? Seeing no further members of the public come forward, move to close the public portion and move for adoption. Move for adjournment.
Second. Mayor White?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Mary?
Yes.
Mayor Vincent? Mayor Sharper?
Yes.
Motion carries to adjourn the